Hey, what's going on, guys? Richie Figs here, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a figure review on one of the figures of this 2-pack of the 50 years Marvel Legends series Wolverine, Logan, and Sabretooth. I say one just because we're really going to only focus on Sabretooth in this video. If you guys want to see a separate video of Logan, go ahead and hashtag Logan in the comments below. If I see enough interest, then I will do that. But I feel like a majority of people bought this pack strictly for the Sabretooth. That's just kind of Marvel Legends MO. They'll give you an okay figure, and then the main draw, I think, of this pack being the Sabretooth. So that's the one we're going to look at. Kind of taking a look at the packaging here. I'll show you guys what Logan looks like, just kind of as like a side piece. Two cowboy hats, both no difference really in the face. Both stern looks, some cards, and a different set of hands, clawless. But the funny thing is, they give you a awesome picture of Logan with a battle screaming head cry and no cowboy hat. Why couldn't we get that head sculpt with this figure? I definitely think that would have drawn a lot more interest in the Logan had that head sculpt be included. Let me know in the comments below if you feel the same. Also do get a very cool picture of the Sabretooth on the right side, and then you do get a nice comic book cover on the back of the packaging. Now, this figure, just being one of the figures of the 2-pack, is going to be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. I think he carries enough interest that, you know, that's all we need anyway. So let's get Sabretooth out of the package. There's a lot of nostalgia for me here as a villain for him in the animated series. Let's see if he lives up to the hype. Guys, and taking a look at Sabretooth outside of the packaging, I like this figure a lot. I really do. The body sculpt's very nice. The head portraits are very cool. There's just something a little off to me about them. I don't know if it's just my Sabretooth is the animated series one, and this is based off the comic book version. Don't get me wrong. Very, very cool. Very, very fierce. In the right lighting, these get some really cool shadowing. But I don't know. There's just something off. And it's not the head size. Do I think the head size is too big? Yes, but that's not what I'm meaning, and I think something's off. I do think these head sculpts could have been a little bit smaller just to make the body feel that much more huge. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure we'll see other Sabretooths down the line from Marvel Legends, maybe even an animated series one. But for right now, this is fine. I kind of wanted the movie Venom body sculpt for him. I think that would have worked really well. But Omega Red is a nice body sculpt and probably the one a lot of people thought he was going to come on anyway. So taking a look at articulation, we'll kind of get him back to his neutral pose here real quick, as he's a big dude. But taking a look, yeah, very, very cool. He's got some head tilt, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, not tremendous amount. His head sculpt can't go back very much just because this mane does get in the way. It is not detachable, which is good because I'd hate to have this thing keep falling off. But he does get a pretty good wide range motion of going downwards, so that is very nice. While we're on the side piece here, he does get some bicep swivel, does get double jointed arms, which are pinless. So that is nice. Can I get the double jointed to actually work? I should be able to, or sometimes it just gets a little tricky, but he is a big dude, so he is not going to get like a tremendous amount of range there, but enough. And then he does get an ab crunch that lets him move forward that much, leaning forward, that far leaning back, and then no side tilt, but does get a waist swivel, so very cool there. And then as far as the wrist, you can move it all the way around, and then he does get some in and out functionality as far as the movement there. Does get a little bit of thigh swivel. Mine is super stiff. That's what she said. Excuse me. That's not what she said. That's what I said to her. Reverse that. Looking at the double jointed knees, they do go pretty high, but this man does not skip leg day, so they don't go super far back, but enough to what we need to do. He is a big bruiser like the Bison, so we really need some good crouching, some good, you know, some good coming at you poses, things like that, and that's really all you need. He does get some butterfly. Doesn't go super far back. Again, this mane kind of gets in the way. As far as some additional accessories, he does get some additional hand sculpts, but really they're just a little more closed. Just a little more closed. This one maybe is a little more open. And then also does get a very cool extra head sculpt there. Very, very nice. Again, these are very cool. As I take it off to kind of show you the grinning one, it's just, I don't know, there's just something off about the head sculpt that is making it, maybe it is that it's just too big. Maybe that the head is just a little too big. That is throwing it off. One thing I forgot to show you, the foot, a lot of foot range there. His foot does go up that far, and then they do go very far down as far as articulation with the feet, which is nice, and then does get an ankle rocker. So very, very cool there. As far as some comparisons, just kind of putting them up, seeing that we do deal a lot with the Jada line. Let's bring in one of the big bruisers from the Jada line. Let me get him out of pose here. Just kind of have to stare at Victor there for a second. And let's see. So, yeah, there's some size there. Definitely some size there from the M. Bison. M. Bison being a big dude. Sabretooth being a big dude. So, definitely some size difference there. But the nice thing is these can actually scale pretty well. As I think Sabretooth is like a big, big dude. I think he's like 6'8", 6'9", maybe somewhere in there. That's pure guess, by the way. I did not look that up. But if I had to imagine kind of thinking he's like a 5'11", I'm thinking he's probably close to the 6'5" to 6'7", maybe as high as 6'9", somewhere in that realm. But I really like this figure a lot. As far as legs, his leg is going to go out about that far. Splits, going to go out about that far. And like I said, him being a big bruiser doesn't need a lot of articulation other than really just want to get him in those mean crouching poses. Something like this. Bring the arm up, maybe get that claw, bring that butterfly maybe back just a little bit. I am going to change the head sculpt because if we're going to go into a fierce pose, we got to have a fierce head sculpt. So kind of something like that, and then really bring down those knees. So maybe something like that. Bring it up, get that head up, looking like that. And that is our Victor Creed. So that is going to be my review on the Sabretooth. Do I love the figure? Absolutely. Do I feel like the head sculpt being a little too large diminishes the likeness for the figure? Kind of, but not enough to where I'm like, oh, this figure's screwed. Nothing like that. If anything, it maybe brings it down half a point, maybe. So on a 1 to 10, I'm probably going to give this like a 9.5. Like, I love this figure a lot. Is this the last Sabretooth figure we're ever going to get? No. Is there room for improvement? Yes. So that is nice. I'm sure they'll hear people and other reviews kind of talk about that. So I'm sure they'll make their proper adjustments moving forward. And like I said, this is the comic book version of Sabretooth. I think a lot of people get in their heads that animated series Sabretooth and kind of compare it to that. So that's not this. So we got to remember that this is the comic book version. But like I said, I mean, for this figure just being so beefy, so massive, and you know, the head sculpts are very cool. I like that in certain lighting, they really get some different characteristics that come out. So definitely like that a lot. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. My first video that's not Jada Toys. So got to be proud there. The channel is evolving slowly but surely. I do have a new video that's going to come out on the Scarlet Spider from that new animated series card back of the Marvel Legends. So very excited to show you guys that as well. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you on the next one. Richie Figs. Later.